Hi, I'm Megan, and you are in my studio. This is the Tuesday studio video visit, and let's get started. As you can see behind me, there is another 16 by 16 inch painting on the go, along with those others I showed you last week. So this is the painting I've been working on. More yellow ochre, more charcoal, a little bit of turquoise. This painting still has a bit to go. I've kind of been beating it into like an inch of its life, actually. We'll see. There's some things I'm really liking. Of course, the dirty quality of it all. I like that. The composition, a little spotty. I usually don't like having something so close to the center of a piece, but as you can see, this is off center and low. So we'll see what happens with this piece. In other news, I finished off a couple of commissions, so I'll be shipping those soon. They had gotten delayed as I'd worked on some other work, but my studio is much in the same state, pretty messy and disheveled. Yesterday, I also just kind of did some experimentation. I watched a film that I'm now blanking the name of. I think it was called Inside, which is sort of for, pardon my pronunciation, I believe it's Finnish. It's a documentary. It's on the UK Netflix right now. It's all about intuition, which is something that I rely on very heavily. But as I get older and as I have to kind of function in this world, I find that my intuition sometimes gets weaker and weaker. So after watching this film, I thought about all the times as a child I played and made up things just for the sake of playing and making up things, not to create finished pieces or products to sell or to make money. And I remember one thing I did with an old friend was we did onion heart transplants, and there was a big yard nearby, a big grassy area where two elderly people lived, and they gave us kind of run of their garden area. And so we had those wild onions where I'm from that aren't really like a green onion and maybe a little like a chive. So wild onions. And we would pull the wild onions and then we'd slice them. I don't know what with. I don't think we had knives because we were pretty young children. And maybe scissors. Maybe we did have a butter knife or something, I don't know. But we would slice down the onion and we would take what we perceived as the heart of one onion and put it in another onion. And it was like an onion hospital, onion heart ward. And it was just a strange game that I remember playing and really liking. I always played games like that. So yesterday, I started crumpling up pieces of paper and wrapping them with twine and painting the sides of them. And the twine is something I particularly like. It's just some tactile quality about it that I really like. So I was sort of thinking of these as like ritual objects that you would offer some type of god. Here's another piece. And I was just thinking, when's the last time we played like this? When's the last time you played like this? You know, this one here, there's lots of knots tied in the twine and pieces of paper all cut, and then it's tied and it's painted. And I was sort of frantically, here's one that's kind of like a little talisman dipped. I was sort of frantically crumpling up these balls of paper and tying them with the twine and dipping them in paint and then moving on to another. These are not attractive objects. They're not sellable objects. They're not, you know, they don't mean anything but what I say they mean. And all of that is a story in my mind. And I just thought that was kind of fun. It was fun to make these little weird objects, and for no other purpose than to make them and to create the story about why I was making them in my mind as I went about it. And just trying to remember back to all the games that we used to make up as children and all that creativity and all that weird sort of intuition and storytelling. And was you know, the funnest, most fun part of being a kid was that, using your brain in that way to create these strange worlds. And of course, today you look at that crumpled paper all with twine, and maybe there's negative associations. Maybe it's like, ew, what is that? It's dirty, it's gross. What's the purpose in that? What does it mean? You know, but all of those questions are really pointless. You know, there's no reason. There's no reason for you to worry about what the hell this is and what it means and what's she gonna do with it. You know, I just enjoy tying those knots, and I just enjoy the length of twine, and I liked soaking it in paint, and I liked then imagining this ritual story. So I'll put a link to that movie that I watched for those of you who might also enjoy it. And yeah, that's my food for thought. You know, this, like, when's the last time you just played? When's the last time you just made something? It had been far too long for me. I don't know what will happen with those objects, if I'll keep making them. I don't know if it really positively affected my painting that's kind of been dragging again. But it was just kind of fun to do. And it was fun to do something just because you could, you know? So that's where I'm at this week in the studio. Hope you all are well and taking care. Sorry for these longer videos. I'll get more succinct again soon. Okay, take care. Bye. Make something weird for no reason, for no point. Why'd you mail it to somebody? Scare someone. Because creativity, it's a little scary sometimes. Okay, bye.